Here we go. Woo!
Hey, hello, and welcome to episode 48 of the Dash Force Free Amigos podcast. How's it going, guys? How's it going, Brian? You good? Happy 420.
Good. Excellent.
He's feeling very happy. It's 420 day today. And Joel, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm pimping out. I've got a Smut Lab Stallion, which is an Imperial Stout aged in red wine barrels. And they didn't pay me for this, but I like it. So happy anniversary. Woo!
But did you buy it with Dash? That's the question.
Debatable.
Excellent. Well, guys, I'm feeling super high this week because the Dash price and the crypto market cap's gone up, and it looks like it's not going to retrace. Yeah, initially last Friday was talking about it, I thought it might be a bull trap, and I think we really need to wait like 3-4 days. But this is just my opinion. I feel like we're definitely on an uptrend now. The bull trap is over, so I think it's like plain sailing now for quite some time. So yeah, man, I'm feeling really happy about the price, and I think it's needed as well with the Dash treasury, because the proposals this month, woo! I thought it was busy last month, boys, but wow, there's a lot of proposals up this month as well. So we need that price to go up so we can facilitate more. What do you guys think?
Yes, for sure.
So I had a meeting with the master owner who was coming in the local area yesterday. Met him for the first time. We're just talking about the whole treasury system and ways of improving stuff and all that kind of stuff. And I definitely, let me put it this way. I definitely think that what Dash's treasury system needs is not necessarily more price, although I think it got used to I think what we saw is it hit 10 million in December. 4 million of it got spent. Core force coming up for funding. And then people just, all that demand, people are like, well, there's all this money in the treasury, and they start sniffing around when it's 2 million. It's like, no, guys, come back when there's more available. But unfortunately, it's almost like the Dash ecosystem is easily 5-6 million per month of demand. I mean, of demand for of demand, including projects that maybe shouldn't be funded or maybe are inefficient. It's probably 20 million at least. But I'm saying as far as projects that the masternodes would want to fund, it's probably like 6 million right now. I'm just guessing. So yeah, for that purpose, it really would help to, get back up into the 800s or something. But hey, I'm spoiled.
Right. I think we should just say we don't actually have a guest this week. So for the longest time ever, we've always had a guest. But as it was our 1-year birthday for Dash Force News this week, we thought we would kick it old school, relax, talk amongst ourselves, and also give you guys the opportunity to ask us questions for a change. So please be active in the live chat, ask anything. This podcast is going to be completely unscripted as always. So we may reflect on the old year, talk about things that have happened or just news this week. And already in the live chat, I can see a lot of people there. So Half a Sheep, always a loyal viewer.
Okay, so first, it's me, Boss Lady. Hi, good to see you again. Met you in Austin. You keep on asking me, when are you going to be at all these extra events? If you're going to these libertarian events, I'll be all over the place. I'll be Libertopia. I'll be Voice and Exit, Pork Fest, Freakos Fest, and I'm going to speak at the World CryptoCon and Halloween. So I'll be at all of those things at the very least. So if you're at any of those, pop in and say hi.
Yeah. I was going to say
big shout out to Dash.Red. Edward, good work. I see you're really putting thousands of transactions a day on the Dash network. If you notice, today Dash's transaction volume was over 11,000, and I think a lot of that has to do with what Dash.Red and Edward are doing. So yeah, congrats. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And he'll be at Pork Fest. I'll get to meet you myself.
Yeah. So I was going to say and Half a Sheep as well. He says it's 5 a.m. in Sydney as well. So I think he should change his name from Half a Sheep to Half Asleep.
Half Asleep. Oh!
Hey! Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood today.
And speaking of Pork Fest and people who are going to be at Pork Fest, Our old friend Joe Maraca says he's going to be there, so we get to meet him in person. And Mark, who else is going to be there?
I don't know. I think.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to bring out the big guns, and I'm not talking about Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen
on I've
Yes.
seen him around, just not in here. What dates on PorkFest? June 19th through 24th. If you want to be there,
really
Dash Aerosports, we would definitely welcome that. Just know that the closest airport is probably Portsmouth at Pease, and that's like a minor airport. And then you have to drive like 2.5 hours north into the mountains from there. So, but yeah, it's a lovely thing up in the White Mountains, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've not booked my flight or anything as of yet, but just New Hampshire, it's like it's in the news every week.
Except Dash for plane tickets and hotel.
Yeah, cheapair.com. Woo! Yeah. Hey guys, do you like my my Dash t-shirt? It's like really retro. It's like the old Dash logo. Apparently there's a new one coming in. So there's a photo up, guys, or something. So excellent.
That was a good one. It's
courtesy, no dinosaur money.
Courtesy of our friends from the Free State Bitcoin Shop, who also run the AnyPay point of sale system, who's some of the biggest OGs and Dash purchases. Pretty
so yeah, is AnyPay gonna be at the PorkFest thing? Because I think you said they're gonna be there, right?
Yeah, probably. Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're always going.
Yeah, because it seems like AnyPay's kind of got a monopoly on New Hampshire. Like all the businesses are using it, as we discovered from the CNN video. So I just assumed that.
Yeah, it's like reminds me of South Park. It's like, this is a great day for Canada and for the world. It's like monopoly on New Hampshire adoption and for the world, because it's like, no disrespect to everywhere else that's being, especially Venezuela is kicking ass with Dash adoption, but it's like, this is one of those places where, you know, just go to Boston and there's like nothing, one or two places. There's just go anywhere, and then this little town, there's a 1 per 1,000 people. Like, I keep on telling people, on a Monday night, I wanted to go out and eat. I wanted to pay in Dash. 3 places that accepted Dash were closed on a Monday, and I still found a 4th place. Middle of the week, went out to get coffee. Some dude behind me in line was buying his lunch in Dash. Who had been at that same spot buying stuff in Dash earlier that day. Sunday, we all went. Myself and a couple of friends went out, 8 new purchases with Dash at a couple different places. This is what we've been talking about, and it's happening right here, right now, and it's only growing.
Is CNN coming back? Did you say CNN's coming back or something?
Nah, I don't think so. Not until I have something else to report. Like, I don't know. It might have to grow outside of this quaint little New Hampshire town. It might have to grow into, you know, greater Boston area. Might have to, I don't know, go to Alt 36 and all the cannabis things. Which, speaking of which, happy 420. If you go to alt36.com, they have a big countdown to Monday, April 30th. 10 days, 4 hours, 46 minutes, and 42 seconds until they launch the new site, which to me indicates they're getting ready to launch. And they've been tweeting up a storm. Their Instagram started going up. They're gearing up all their social media stuff. I think they're getting ready for something big.
How did that CNN thing come together? How did they get in contact with you? How did that happen?
They Googled me. It was something in a bio somewhere, something about living on cryptocurrency, and just wanted to know. It was myself and some other dude in LA, and that didn't pan out. Likely because the dude in LA probably just bought a bunch of Bitcoin and then he just sold it when it went high, because there's not, or just has a Bitcoin debit card or something, because you can't live off of Bitcoin in LA, let's be honest. So it was just, who is living off cryptocurrency? Where can you do that? Pretty much one place in the world, maybe Caracas, I don't know. So that's kind of how that came.
Where did they contact you through? Was it Twitter, or how did they?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Just
tweeted at me, hey, can you follow me so I can DM you? All right.
I just remembered, if people go to dash420.io, there's a special surprise on there for you.
Dash420.
Yeah, this was something that we did like a few months back, but I completely forgot about it. I should have tweeted about it today, actually, but as Joel was talking about Alt 36, it just popped into my head. So I don't know if you guys are checking that out, but in the live chat, if you are,
it's loading slowly, so it's going to be a fun little. Oh, there we go. I know that guy.
Yeah.
You need the music though. Did you
Yeah.
make a meme today?
No, not today. I've been on the phone a lot today, so not today. Oh, actually, no.
Brian, can you amend the Dash Force proposal we have live and cut out Mark's salary and just give it to between the two of us? Because I think he needs to be fired. He needs to be docked a month's wages for missing out a meme today.
Well, I did do the 420 over that sort of stuff, but I did get the other 2 articles published and shared, so I've been holding the fort down.
Yeah.
So excellent. So Brian,
yes,
have you been voting already on the proposals this month? Do you want to talk about it? How do you feel about it? Do you feel fatigue because there's so many, or
it seems better? It's not as bad as last month. It's bad, but it's not as bad. There's just a lot of stuff has already been voted on for one. It's going to be, a lot of people are going to be disappointed. There's a lot of proposals and not enough Dash. 4,403 has already been accounted for out of 6,176. So there's not much left. Hopefully there's nobody else putting in proposals this month. Hopefully we got 10 days left.
If they are, that's a stupid move. I mean,
it's full up. But yeah, it's not as bad this month. There's some big ones, but some of them you can just dismiss. Some of them there's like the one for the San Francisco Marathon, 1,800 Dash. That's never going to pass. Next year, that'll be great. I'd love to do that next year, but not this year. I don't even
$10,000 Dash.
Why? Is it just because you feel if we had a 10 million budget, do you just feel with the restriction of the budget, that's why it's not going to pass, or is there for another reason? Like why?
If we had the budget, I'd throw the money at it, but yeah, we just don't have the budget for it.
Yeah, Dash can't afford this.
No.
Dash is kind of broke right now. Speaking of which, I heard from Evan today. He's doing he just says they're close to doing phase 1 on some cool project they've been working on Dash Labs, but they're not ready to unveil it yet. So just good. He's still live and kicking. He's still working. Hopefully they are almost done with the neon sign. I'd like to see that out. Anyway.
Excellent. So I'm still mesmerized by the Dash price going up. I feel so happy about it. Not that I was ever worried that the price went down. I think it's just that I had so much confidence within Dash. I bought the dip perfectly. Like
BTFD.
Yeah.
So my family, the same thing. A couple members were just like, I'd been telling forever they liked it, but just we're kind of quiet on the price front for a long time. Just like we're quiet for months, like before even the big run up last year. Just I didn't hear anything from and then just about a month or so ago, just like, hey, can we can you help us out? Can you help us navigate? And it was like 290. That was like, wow, that's pretty close to BTFD. Just 290. And I'm just like, congratulations, guys. You're going to be set for retirement.
What did they buy? They buy Masternode or something? Shares?
Nah, they're cattle ranchers. They're nowhere near that ballin'.
A cattle rancher, you can make some dough. Cattle rancher.
Well, cattle ranchers have a lot of net worth in land and animals. Like if you have a 10 square mile property, 200 head of cattle, 300 sheep, that's a lot of value. But you can't just I'm going to spend a few sheep on this. Like that. It's not quite that liquid.
Yeah.
Excellent. But yeah, we've had some interesting news this week as well. There's the PayPal one, which I'd like to talk about, but the one that Brian was really interested in was that Pornhub has adopted cryptocurrency this week, and Brian was really elated by this.
Go out, Brian.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't see that it's going to be. I mean, that's great, good for them. I just don't see a lot of people buying porn anymore. I mean, it's free. So I don't know. We were talking about like the cam. That's where the money's at, is those live cam things.
Yeah, it looks like it was a giant pump and dump for Verge, which, by the way,
I saw that. Yeah.
A couple things y'all might not know about Verge, and I completely am not paying attention to the technology or the Wraith protocol or whatever. I don't give a shit, right? But first off, it was a fork of Dogecoin named Dogecoin Dark. They call it Verge because apparently that's a better name. Verge is both the French name and close to the Spanish name for a male member. So it fits right in with Pornhub, if you get my pun. Also, on a more serious note, on that industry, we take crypto for what? For like premium stuff? Like, it doesn't really matter that much. However, I do keep on hearing good things about Spank Chain and the work they've been doing in more of the what you were talking about, like the cam model, the kind of monetizing the more personal aspects of the industry, I guess. I don't know, it's a completely foreign industry to me, but I'm very fascinated by these edge cases because edge cases are prime use cases for cryptocurrency.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a huge industry. But yeah, it's only for like premium services. So unless you're like a hardcore porn addict like Mark, it's not gonna, it's not.
I've already bought the domain flashfordash.com. It's big things from here, boys. Big things, trust me.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Didn't they used to call didn't some trolls used to call Dash digital ass? I think I've seen that a couple places.
Digital trash, Dcash.
I never heard that.
Yeah.
That's not an insult.
One of the interesting things about the Pornhub thing, though, that came about, they said they picked Verge. We know because they paid them a lot of money, but they said the reasons why they liked Verge is because of its privacy functionality. But wasn't Verge Doge Dark before?
Dogecoin Dark.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's had a very checkered last, few weeks. I don't know all the details of Verge, and I don't want to get on a bashing trend. But
the one thing there's lots of insider stuff going on. I mean, if anybody looks at the chart, can see they bought a lot. They waited for the announcement, then they just dumped it hard. I mean, like it's like down like 30%. It was really
the only thing I will publicly, openly, unequivocally bash about Verge is the logo. It looks like some crappy 8-bit something. I don't know. It's just they could do better
because but it's like a down thing. So when you go in Coin Market Cap, it looks like a downtrend. So it's like down a position. Do you know what I mean? Because it's always like pointing down. If they point up,
well, I guess we know they're the bottoms in the relationship.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? Because wasn't it tax day this week in the States? Is that right, or is it coming up?
No, it happened. I'm pretty sure
it happened. Was that last week or this week? Did you guys pay your taxes?
No, I got an extension.
You got an extension? Okay.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
It's funny because I remember it's pretty funny because in the beginning I remember the whole Bitcoin thing was it's gonna be no one can censor you, no one can take your money, it's gonna end taxation as we know it, all this kind of stuff. And then the price goes like way up for crypto, and everyone's like, "Shit, I gotta pay my taxes on this." And it's like as soon as people start getting all this money, they start to lose their whole cypherpunk edge, and they're all like, how do I make this legit so I can actually buy Lambos with it?
Yeah. Changing the subject, have any of you guys heard any news about Binance this week? Because I'm seeing a trend, and it kind of ties into an article we did on the website a month or two ago, where we're talking about Binance moving to Malta for regulation reasons. And we always end up talking about the Robinhood app or Coinbase or Abra. And the trend that I'm seeing now in the crypto space this week is there's a lot of people saying that Binance is going to be the new Coinbase because they're creating fiat trading pairs for the US dollar and the euro, except for they have a much bigger portfolio of cryptocurrencies, and it's going to make it much more accessible. And we already can see on the coin market cap value that Binance has been doing incredibly well in terms of volume and trading. So if they can really get that in place, I mean, I don't know when it's going to launch these trading pairs that you can actually buy in. I'm guessing it's probably going to be in the next month or two, but a lot of people are talking about it, which is only going to present another opportunity, increasing accessibility for more adoption to the general public. So I'm super pumped for this year. So how do you guys feel about that? It's just is it just another exchange for you, or can you see it really rivaling Coinbase as well, like others?
They came out of nowhere. They've done real good, but yeah, they came out of nowhere and just rose to the top. Good for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that there was an incident a month ago, or about a month ago. I remember reading about it on Reddit, where some people were using trader bots, and I think they just shut everything down, and they were really transparent about it. And the Reddit community was kind of like, "This is really great that we have an exchange that's really open and transparent about this stuff, where people are using bots for like trading and manipulation, all this sort of stuff." So that kind of transparency actually helps a lot with reputation. So, and hey, there's so many exchanges now, isn't there? So
yeah, they're gonna do the decentralized.
I think there's like 73 exchanges or something offering Dash right now, something crazy like that. It's probably more than that now.
Yeah, my parents tell me that there's this all over the small towns in Mexico where they live. There's all these kinds of like Bitcoin shops that say buy, sell Bitcoin here, and then you get into these Bitcoin clubs, and you like put in some money, and then you get more out or something. And it's all supposedly they have trading bots. Like it's a lot of kind of scammy stuff where a lot of these poor day laborers who make like the minimum wage of like $7 a day or $5 a day or whatever, they put in whatever life savings they didn't spend on beer that weekend, and they just put it into these trading bot things and get scammed. And there's always a little bit of a dark side to the whole thing about, wow, this is something we can finally make a living on. We can finally get out of our poverty with. There's always a little dark side of people trying to prey on that instinct by saying, yeah, just give us a bunch of money. We'll use some trading bots and hopefully make your money back 12 times over, but maybe not.
One thing I'm looking forward to next week is there should
frozen
be
pizza.
Fingers crossed. Oh no, that's every day. That's a daily basis thing. That's a given. But it should be the demo 2 video for Dash Evolution. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And shout out to Joshua, who did a presentation event in Amsterdam on the 18th. I heard that went very well. So yeah, like Dash Evolution, really looking forward to that video, because the first one was a bit rudimentary, where we saw a couple of charts showing the flow of it and how it works. And we saw the initial demo using the username and the password and kind of like the grand idea. So this next one, I really don't know what to expect. So yeah, I'm looking really forward to it, because with everything that's happening right now, I just feel Dash has everything to play for 2018. Bitcoin had the first mover advantage, being the first cryptocurrency, blockchain cryptocurrency. Dash has got the first mover advantage of being the first DAO and having the treasury funding. And I still don't feel that we fully utilized that. Yes, we had lots of projects and initiatives in 2016, but I don't think we've seen that fully come back round yet. And I think as the price goes up, we're going to start to see a lot of ROI. And the real test for us right now is all about execution. We're seeing the core team work on the SDK and the documentation and getting Dash Evolution ready for release. What we need to do right now is make sure we're executing the delivery, making sure we communicate and get developers interested, involved. So from out the gate, we've already got people interested in building stuff on the platform. And it's how we go about that. And I feel that's a conversation we should all be having now. What do developers go to as their resources? Do they go to online websites? Do they read magazines? Do they go to particular festivals? We need to find out these things. Even Ethereum developers, we need to have a strategy to get these people on board. So yeah, we need to make sure we do that right, because I feel like that's so imperative for this year for us.
What's the deal with 12.3? It's fixing to launch, isn't it? I thought they posted something like that.
Yeah, so I think that was actually meant to launch this week, but I think it may be probably towards the end of. It's probably going to launch end of next week, but I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
Is it testnet or I thought it was mainnet, right?
I thought it was a mainnet.
It sounded like that.
Yeah,
I think they're working on testnet. I think they're I saw somebody say something about the testnet. So
yeah, so like the last official word we had on it was last week with Alexander Block as a guest, and he was saying there's been I think he said there was a slight delay, but he just gave the impression that it's coming soon. So that's why I assumed it'll be this week. So I presume it's going to be next week, and we're still waiting for the updated roadmap as well, which should be launched. I think we're all waiting for that. Let's be fair. Although we know they're not going by hard deadlines anymore because of the development methodology change.
Yeah, one thing I saw talked about in the comment section, Toke Normal and a few other people, they were talking about adoption and stuff, and then Joel was one of the examples. Joel, remember, they had like 3 different use cases, and Joel was, and I guess all of us are the 3rd use case about getting paid in Dash and then spending it. The interest-bearing accounts, that's why I think those interest-bearing accounts are so important, because if you have people who have Dash and they have a little bit of extra, that's how they're going to spend it rather than hold it. I know as, Mastodon owner that, yes, I spend, I feel comfortable spending some of the extra that comes off that. I'm sure you guys do too with the shares and stuff. You want to hold your principal, but then spend stuff. I think that that's just so important. I'm looking to see hopefully there's something about that in the roadmap. If not, maybe that can be done outside of evolution if it's going to take forever. Maybe there's some kind of smart contract that can make that work. That's just such an important feature.
Yeah. Like I said, it's all to play for, right? It's going to be a big year for Dash either way. I don't want to say it's make or break, but we've got absolutely everything to play for. And Chuck gave the impression that from his side, time-wise, he feels that they're on point, they're on schedule. But obviously, it's a much bigger machine with components of different teams all coming together. So you can't say anything absolutely concrete 100%. But the sentiment that I get from the Dashcore team that everything's going pretty well. Like they all seem to be pretty happy, and it's at the point where they expected that they thought they would be right now. So I think that's a good thing, right? So no spanners in the works. Not that have been made public anyway.
But no, it's very impressive. It seemed to all have come together. Now it's just they've got the foundation built. Now it's time to start rolling stuff out.
Yeah, but how can we get these developers how do we let the Ethereum developers know that we have a more sophisticated, easy, accessible platform to build on? So it's great having the documentation there. It's great going to have the SDK to make things easy. But we need to communicate it. We need that get that message out and propagate it. So one of the interesting things about the roadmap is, and we spoke about this a while back, probably just before Christmas, when we were first talking about the first couple steps of the roadmap. And one of them was saying that when they start working on evolution, they were going to get a small pool of businesses to try and like trial and error, just to trial things out, get ideas, look what they the needs and wants of what they need. I would love an update on that. I know they can't disclose what businesses they're working with, but that's so imperative to our success.
Node 40, I think, was pretty much open. They were going to be working with them, and
I've not heard anything from Node 40 in a long time. Obviously, we know they had that big sale. They did the whole Bitcoin tax software. There was a big sale, right, on that, which was for a lot of money. Because it seems now, obviously, taxes in cryptocurrency is a big thing. We've seen a lot of these events. You're getting a lot of accountants offering kind of solutions for cryptocurrency. This trend's only going to continue, right? I just want to get to a stage where in each country we have so much cryptocurrency adoption. Joel, do you remember a month or two back, there was in Korea, the government was coming down, they're trying to put their foot down, saying like, oh no, we're not going to ban crypto, but we're going to get really hard on it. And then the government discovers like, oh, wait a second, 40% of the population have cryptocurrency. This would be a really bad move, an idea. So that's what we need to get.
That's exactly the point of mass adoption, is you just get entrenched. And I've heard this said a few times, and I definitely agree with this myself, that the Dash community has overemphasized evolution. Spent too much time just sitting around hands in pockets, just waiting for this big killer app coming out that's going to just change everything. And Dash is already way better than the competition on all these kinds of coins, and definitely better than legacy systems that are still being widely used. And why delay? Oh, well, let's just wait for evolution before we try to do adoption stuff. No. Why? It's working great right now. I use it every week, several times. It works easier than credit cards, easier than cash. It's ready right now. And this is what makes it serious, because a lot of people say, well, you know, I was just having a conversation with representatives of Purse this week about what coin you're going to add next. And then they were like, well, I don't know. We haven't seen much activity from Dash or something like that. And then
it's all
I was
Bitcoin,
sort of an argument.
it was.
Yeah. And so I was having a little argument with them over that. And it's just like, right now, it's just whichever coin can be louder, whichever one can rig Twitter polls better, like things like that, because no one's actually using things. And then it's like, well, everyone goes and I'm going to try to use Litecoin. I don't care if it sucks or whatever. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do that just because I hear that they're closer to some, and it has no use in the meantime. The Dash community, I wouldn't say the Dash community all is, but big chunks of the community are just sitting around being like, well, we don't care how far, you know, if we lose attention, we don't care if we do anything. We'll just sit around and just, you know, we'll be righteous. The Galahad's right. It will be righteous. Just it will win in the end because we're just going to be better. And you know what? Shout out to Chael P. Sonnen. Dash funded. For one thing, he had a great Rumble at the Roseland last weekend. I saw the images. Dash branding everywhere was great. But late last night, I was in bed just like scrolling through my phone, and I was looking at a couple of YouTube videos. He had a couple of YouTube rants where he was kind of screaming at some fighter. He got really fired up, talking about UFC fighters who do not self-promote, that refuse to self-promote or are stupid about seizing opportunities. Like, if you have a title shot, you can just say, I won it, you have it. Why the hell not? Why wouldn't you go for that? And it was about 30 minutes between both videos, and it's extremely applicable to the cryptoverse. Just why aren't you taking opportunities? Why are you just sitting back and saying, I'm going to be the nice guy, that's going to win, I'm just going to sit there and be nice and polite, I'm not going to go out and get that? And it's perfectly appropriate on the 1 year anniversary of Dash Force News, a little bit more from Dash Force. The reason we're here is because we decided we weren't going to lay down and take it anymore. We're going to do something about it. We're going to make sure Dash was represented in the news. We're going to make sure Dash was represented on media. We're going to make sure there was a merchant listing that was there that said everywhere that takes Dash. We were going to make sure Dash was represented in over a half dozen languages. We're going to make sure everything, because we're not going to just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah, but the community also shouldn't take that as a sign that they can relax or whatever, because there was somebody that came into to the Discord. They called themselves I Love Bitcoins. I'm sure y'all seen them. And it was kind of a little trolly, but not really. They were speaking truth that a lot of us don't really want to hear. And that is that the community, compared to some of the other communities, is a bit, I don't know what it's just not as hyped up, but that's not really it's more laid back. People have theorized, well, it's a bunch of, older, richer Mastodon owners. And so
I feel like we're more mature.
That's true. But but they were saying that there's not a lot of these like 13 and 15-year-old kids that's in there like shit posting and stuff like that. And yeah, I guess that is true.
Sometimes you need that, though.
Yeah, you do need that. It's a tricky thing because we don't want the whole, Discord filled up with shit post. But that's an important part of it. We got to find a nice balance to figure that out and not just, count on, like Joel said, evolution.
Do you feel that the Discord community now is just as active as the Slack community that we migrated from?
It depends.
Different experience, right? Because that Slack was pretty bumping, right? That was busy. I know we had the tip bot and all that sort of stuff, but I mean, that was like live 24/7, no matter what time you went in. So I still feel, I mean, our Discord channel now I think has like 3,500 members, and I thought
it's like 4,700, isn't it? Something like that.
Okay, all right. I saw Tongue for Ask earlier, and someone stated that number, so I need to double check that. I'm just going over.
I don't know. I could have forgotten. Whatever. Now you can imagine like Tao flipping out watching this. That is not the correct number at all. You're wasting all my hard work.
But yeah, it's the same with Telegram. So the Telegram groups started up again this week. So it's an official Dash talk. If you go to the Dash forums, you'll find a link to that.
Was it a totally new group? We starting over?
So it's just starting absolutely fresh. I think there's like 50 members in there currently.
Man.
I think it only went like official. It was the unofficial, but now it's turned to the official one today.
How many did we have before? Do we remember? Do we know?
I only remember the one that was before it in terms of Telegram. I mean, Telegram in terms of crypto really only started getting utilized like early 2016, I want to say. I mean, the international community is absolutely huge. So like Telegram, Dash Russia, Dash Brazil, that's the main hub for them. You know, you've got thousands of people in there.
Yeah,
it just seems like a westernized thing. They seem to prefer Discord, Slack over the
Telegram. I never do Telegram, but we need to insist. People, all the Reddit mods, Macrochip, Joel, we probably need to insist. I know they did this on our cryptocurrency, that all the mods get the proper two-factor authentication, because that would suck. That's horrible that that Telegram was hacked. Hopefully, whoever is it Tungfa that set it up again? Did Tungfa set it up, or is it somebody else?
I think it was a collective of the same admins from the previous one. So I mean, I was an admin of the last one, but that was for other reasons.
Yeah, everybody needs to get two-factor.
So Tongue's in there as well. Or Tongue,
they need to,
as you don't know.
All the mods need to get the two-factor authentication sorted out, because I mean, we can't have that.
Not just the moderators, everyone, because the hacking of the phone number, which is what's needed for Telegram.
Yeah, that's not the SMS. That's horrible. That's horrible too. That's stupid to use that. I mean, you got to use like Google the authenticator or something, and even people say that's got issues, but it's better than the SMS, which is known to have issues. Well, I'd hate to have our Reddit hacked and then have to, that would suck.
Yeah. Happy days, though. I mean, I would say social media, especially Reddit, DashPay's had a little boost. Seems to be more active than ever. But, I feel like we're taking a bit of a negative sort of tone. And I think we've actually got it all to play for. So, yes, I've been hyping up evolution, but we've got merchant adoption as well. So Joel mentioned Alt36. We've got the AnyPay proposal that's up now, and they've obviously been doing great work in New Hampshire. So I feel like we've got this whole merchant drive going on right now. And that's why I was just talking about our secret sauce, that funding. We can incentivize the community to go there and do it. We just need to give them the tools to do it. And that's part of the reason why we wanted Discover Dash, not just for people to learn about Dash, but also for merchants to see what's available to them as an e-commerce business, as a brick and mortar business, then provide guides to make it easy. So Brian already did a fantastic job kicking off the Dash meetups, which now, shout out to Albert, he's now the manager and running, and he's now the support guy for Discover Dash as well. So that's great. So we've already got people doing meetups. We just need to get that final nail in the coffin and just get the merchants. So once we've got these solutions, because it's been a big pain point, then we can get people to go out there and actually get businesses accepting Dash, which is already happening, by the way, but even at a faster rate, much greater than our rivals.
Yeah, I was going to say something about the AnyPay guys. I do like what they're doing with the Dash Back. And I just checked them out yesterday, and they had an update on the proposal, and they said that they are going to do what I suggested, which was take a fixed amount instead of just trying to spend all the money. And I guess they saw the price go up, and they listened to the community, and they saw the wisdom, and yes, taking a fixed amount. So anybody who's voted on that, if you voted against it, go back and take a look at it. They've got some updates, and check them out.
Yeah, and this is obviously personal opinions, but like I know these guys well. All this news headlines about Dash is being used here, everyone, remember we funded Dash Point Sale before? We funded a few different ones, a few different projects. Where are they now? Right?
No.
I mean, I'm being a little bit of a jerk about this because it's kind of necessary. There's like what has happened? There's been point of sales funded. Where are they? Merchant adoption things. Where are they? There's been a few things. Hopefully, all 36 pulls it off big time next month into select U.S. states, 2 out of 50, and Venezuela seems to be hopping. I see on Discover Dash, there's a lot of good stuff happening there. But what about for the rest of the world? What about a good point of sale system? What about like how about the only people that have gotten us onto mainstream media news? How about the only system that really works that anyone can download and use? It's multi-purpose. How about the actual incentive to not just hodl but spend via Dashback program? How about the only people that have the secret sauce that it takes to get merchants onboarded, and the dozens that take it nearby me, none of them convert to fiat, even though that is a possibility. None of them do that right now. And just to be able to convince people to take that risk, like, and these people are wizards. Like, I'm not trying to shill too hard, but I'm saying in terms of the merchant adoption game, these people are wizards, and this is what the whole community's been saying. This is what we need: is more merchant adoption, not more Dash put on billboards and stuff like that. More merchant adoption. Put your money where your mouth is, or stop, or get a different line.
Yeah, we're escrowing it, or I'm going to escrow it. And I was literally on the fence before they came, and before I saw that update, I was like, man, that's a lot of money. It's 12 months. They kind of rejected what I'd said at first, but then I was very happy to see that they see the light and the wisdom in that. So yeah, I'm 100% behind them now. 100%. Yeah. No reason not to vote. I mean, that's just, it's a no-brainer. Like, I mean, we also need it.
I will note that I've heard reports of a few places in Africa and elsewhere have started using the AnyPay point of sale system, even though right now it only prices things in US dollars. Because it's just that good that even though they have to do some weird funny math in their head, that it still works. But with additional funding, being able to actually finish the point of sale and put it into an app, they're going to be able to have it a whole list of fiat currencies you could price it in, so then the whole world will be able to use this thing. And that's the thing, is it's not one thing we've realized with all 36 is it's a very tricky game to have like a one size fits all solution. And what I like about what AnyPay does is it just, because it's like crypto only on its surface, because it's like it's able to be used everywhere in the world, and you can plug in on the back end whatever fiat conversion solution is appropriate to your location, if any. So it basically can work for the entire world, which is pretty cool. And I mean, obviously, I like having more places to go out and spend Dash. In fact, they've been talking to a property group in the Portsmouth area about getting them on board. And if they do, maybe I'll just move to my leases up here and just be able to pay my rent 100% straight in Dash, not have to do a couple workarounds like I do right now. Like, anyway, maybe I'm just being selfish here. I don't know.
Well, I feel like this is actually turning into the AnyPay show. But the pain point for me being in the UK is that they do all POS solutions. The merchants require the fiat backend side of it. And I think up until recently, it's been like pretty much primarily Dash. So what have they actually got a solution in place? So you say they've got plugins for the backend, depending on which country you are. Is this still utilizing the Uphold thing, or is that completely third party separate, or do they actually have a unique thing? Because that's the pain point I have on my side. I would love to promote that and get businesses accepting it, but that's the one barrier that I have here.
Yeah, I think it's a plug in whatever you want on the back end. They were going to do a localized fiat conversion system themselves, but it turns out that there's just so many services out there allow you to easily convert, and it should be pretty easy to just hook up the thing on the back end. But it's funny because maybe it's just we're blessed living right here, but there hasn't been that much demand for like, how do I convert this instantly? And I know obviously that's not the case in the rest of the world, but it should be pretty easy to just do like a quick little setup, especially one thing that and I see a question here, and this is a good conversation point to sort of segue away. I see what I did there to the general, like, how do you get merchants on board? First, it helps if you can save them all the trouble of everything. Just give them a tablet. Say, here, use this. We pre-load it with the point of sale system. We'll get you all set up. You don't need to do anything. And then this is how you use it. And then, oh, thanks. That's the biggest problem, which is just how do I deal with this, is kind of done. And another thing, a lot of people say, oh, the world should use this. This is better. This is all this kind of stuff, yet have no idea how to talk to merchants about this. And I would suggest revisiting what you think are advantages of cryptocurrency, if there are none. Like, why would you get a point of sale system? Why would you get your local coffee shop to take Bitcoin right now? Legacy Bitcoin Core. Like, how does it make sense for them? You have to take a big, long, hard look at yourself and just, well, if they're worried that if they hate Federal Reserve notes or other government currency, then okay, that makes sense. Or, oh, well, if they're worried about their currency devaluing very quickly, okay, that makes sense. Or, oh, they have a lot of international customers who would prefer to pay in something like that. Maybe. Other than that, it absolutely does not make sense, and you should not be promoting that. But you have to start thinking about how is this going to be good for the merchant. If you don't really have the answer, then you really don't have business talking to them about that.
Yeah, that's the problem that I've got here, though. Just to go back to things, like if I talk to a business here, I can't just sell them like, okay, you got the Dash, but then you can sign up to an exchange and then sell that Dash, because then every transaction as a business, there's going to be tax implications. It's extra unnecessary steps. And no one's just going to drop their legacy system and just completely move straight over to all. It's going to be a transitional period where they want to have both, you know. So that's why it needs to be as easy and fluid as possible. And for me, I feel within the UK, as I don't feel we have as many independent high street businesses as you guys do in the States. Look, you know, we've got a lot of franchises here. And multinational companies, it's very difficult to get your foot in the door, even with just the way we have to report our accounting and our expenses here, just from a business side, not even just having the functionality of POS solutions to do the accounting side, but to stock inventory, everything else. When you speak to merchants about what their needs and their wants are, you know, it's got to be, if the solution isn't better than what they're trying to replace, and it creates more steps, essentially hassle, then it's not going to be a good sell. And that's something that we need to overcome here. That's why I believe in the free market, and that's why I want as many POS solutions as whatever, because we may get like new opportunities. So yeah, like it's a very frustrating thing. I think wherever you are in the world, there are certain circumstances like that. Fortunately, places like Venezuela, where it hasn't been too much of an issue, we seem to be having huge merchant adoption over there at the moment.
Yeah,
so that's a very good sign.
I mean, every business owner, the whole concept of a business owner is finding some kind of way to provide a service for cheaper than it takes to produce and keeping the difference. That's like all businesses. Oh, what if someone wants this? Like, I know this person over here who has this item that this person over there wants. I'll buy it from that person and sell it at an increase there, and I can make some money on the difference. Like, that's the underpinning of all business. And so, is there any way this can kind of fit into their profit model, right? You just talk to them like, well, hey, for one thing, if you have a good, cheap fiat conversion system, like, for example, Uphold, and you get a disinterested pub owner or whatever, you can just say, look, you're paying 1 to 3% on credit card fees, and you have to pay a monthly subscription or whatever to the service you use, depending on what you do. We can save that, make it like just 1.5%, and plus with no extra fee, make it easier so you don't have people like dealing with cards, swipey, and all of the problems that happen with that. Of course, depends on what chip and tap cards, the problems they might have. And then you just say, and we're going to hold a meetup here every month. They'll have at least 30 new people. You have new customers you never would have had before, and we'll get your merchant listing done. And we will set this thing up for you. So you don't really have to do anything else. You don't have to pay extra money. You don't have to go through all this extra stuff. And possibly, hey, we'll give you 100 quid extra just to try this out. Well, make them offer they can't refuse, and they try that. And then at that point, you got the inertia. As long as they got enough employees trained on how to use it, which should be really easy. Just go on the tablet, go to the app, open it up, enter the amount, and you're good. Then you just have enough customers coming to that, and then they eventually just never take away the option, and there you go. That's one approach.
Do we know what ATM Alt36 is using? Do we know who they're? Is it General Bytes?
I believe it was General Bytes. I mean, the only other option would be Lamassu, right? But I believe it's General Bytes. However, we're still waiting for a lot of information on Alt36. They've been keeping their cards close to their chest. So, yeah.
Keeping their nugs close to their chest.
Maybe not today.
What is the story with General Bytes? Do we know any updates from General Bytes? Or we're supposed to be integrated two-way, Joel?
I believe we're waiting for another update. I would need to check on Dashwatch, actually. I know Jeff, Green Candle, for those watching, that escrowed that proposal. They've got their own separate Green Candle YouTube channel, and they've uploaded a couple video updates on progress. But I would need to refresh my memory on what stages and phases, because the one thing I was interested in wasn't so much the ATMs, it was actually the Cortex Pay POS solution, which is $599, but that was meant to be having integration with Dash as well. So I would like an update. I believe there was a video tutorial on it, but I don't know if it's live. So yes, I would like an update on the General Bytes situation.
I saw something with that guy. He has like the chips in his hand, like the NFC chips. Yeah, I read an article about it. It's interesting.
Yeah, they're actually. I don't know if it's through General Bytes, but that guy, they're developing a new chip as well, because I think he actually put that done like a few years ago. Actually,
I think he's got it on both hands. Yeah.
Yes, he has. He gets it injected into there. And it's about the size of a rice grain.
Yep.
And apparently it doesn't get picked up at the airport as well, which I found quite interesting. But apparently it utilizes the same technology and what you would have in the veterinary for pets and animals and stuff. So it doesn't, because I was always worried about like the charge and stuff, but apparently like they hold their charge and they're easy to set up. So yeah, is this the mark of the beast? Is this the future? Is this the get out the cars? We're just going to start putting things in everyone. It's going to go Alex Jones again, isn't it? But yeah, we do. We live in interesting times. Who knows what the future's going to hold? I can't see Visa, MasterCard come out saying, hey, we're going to start injecting people with everything, because then, literally going to be tracking everyone. It's bad enough in the news right now with the whole Facebook thing and the political campaigns in the UK and the US, let alone, tracking evereveryone, seeing what they're doing. And
it's voluntary. It's as long as it's voluntary. But yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah.
I mean, I guess you're not going to lose it, right?
I prefer like a watch or something. That seems like the better solution. Like have a watch with all the information in it, and open your doors and have your Dash on there. And I think that's more the future for me, at least. I don't want anything injected in me.
Well, I'd rather have a grain of rice than the tattoo QR code, because the QR code is going to be no good after a while. But I don't think it's as plug and play as the article makes out, because although he got that in and there was some software, there is the programming element of it as well. But the way he spoke about it and the new and improved one they're working on, it kind of sounds like they're going to market it a little bit. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works, because we are seeing a lot of YouTubers being attacked and hacked recently in terms of crypto YouTubers, and this seems to be a common theme right now. And
who's that?
Yeah, there's a funny Evernote. There's a funny meme about Evernote that says share your private keys to the whole world.
Who was hacked, Mark? Who got hacked?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's not someone that I watch a lot, but they always had a key following. But this seems to keep on happening. I remember, I think it was Box Mining that was talking about it. But look, we're just talking about Telegram and mobile phones being hacked and hijacked and that sort of stuff in terms of accounts. Now they're going after YouTubers. We've got to be careful. We need to start looking after our masternode owners. That's what I think. They're going to be the next target. Because do you remember in Acapulco when that event was going on? There was a bit of fear going on. Like, if you have a lot of crypto, don't come here because there's going to be gangs and stuff coordinated and targeting certain individuals. So now some people in the blockchain space that are quite prevalent and been in the space for a long time are now looking at certain events in certain places of the country and thinking about it twice. Like initially it would have been like, yay, blockchain, let's go. Now it's kind of like, actually, where is that event? So times are changing, but it's just people waking up. And there's always going to be criminal entities, right?
People have said that. There was that one Twitter guy who's a troll. I think I forget who it is.
Oh, Bitfinex?
No, Rubini.
Toke
Normal talks about him. But anyways, he was I think he's a professor somewhere or something. He's a big crypto hater in general. But he was talking about people getting kidnapped. But the reality of it is anybody who has money can be kidnapped, and then they can just demand that the family or whatever take the money out of the bank account, convert it to crypto, and pay them. So it's not just a crypto thing. I mean, it may be one less step, but who knows how people have got their crypto stored and private keys split up, and they may not even have access to it. That's kind of how mine's trended to where somebody else has to, it's totally in another part of the state or whatever else.
Things have changed so much, Brian. Do you remember the old Darkcoin desktop wallet? Do you remember that? Think about it now. And now we've got all these. The game's changed so much. Now we've got all these multi-asset mobile phone app wallets and stuff as well. And it's only going to become more and more.
Now we can private send to and from a Trezor. Times are changing.
Yep, and Masternode as well. Whole Masternode and hardware wallet, best way. And yeah, I do think it is interesting, but I can really see Dash Evolution. Sorry to go back to this, but obviously I've been using Steemit and DTube for Dash Force News quite a bit. And just the fact that I can use the same username at Dash Force News, if you're not following us on Steemit, DTube, go do it.
Yes,
I can use that
because every time you upload our stuff, you make Mark rich and he can afford a wig.
If they donate for that, that'll be fantastic. We should put a Dash donation address in the video description. No, that's the one interesting thing about Steemit. And you guys asked me about this last week, so I gave a shout out to Fabio. So up until last week, we hadn't really made anything, and then Fabio kindly donated some money. But then we converted that to Steam power, voting power. So it's interesting how it works. But for me, my point that I wanted to make was I can use that same handle across all the different things. So DTube, DLive I've not used yet, but Steemit. So I can see the power of Dash Evolution. Now, the thing is with that, the password side of it, you've got lots of different keys with Steemit, and they're like long cryptographic, like single line addresses. Depending on the password criteria that Evolution presents, I can see the appeal of Dash Evolution, because it's going to be like the same experience for those that have got the Edge wallet, which I've downloaded. I really like. I have got the Dash app as well. I like that, but I just wanted to see what the hype was about.
Edge.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I mean, I've got a S8 phone, and if you've got your fingerprint set up, you can lock in just like that. It's just so nice, really, really nice interface. And I hope Dash Evolution, when we get the app side of it, we've already spoke about like fingerprints and that sort of stuff, which initially a lot of people were scared about, but people become so accustomed to using it in their mobile experience, whether it's iPhone or Samsung or whatever, right? It's become like commonplace. So having things like that for confirmation is really good. And I can actually see in NFC payments going forward where, you'd have card fraud where you'd get these magnetic scanners and they'd copy all the details. Well, now we know with the virtual card payments, you've got that second layer where you can go to the app to confirm it by putting in your PIN or something else, just as that second layer as protection. So I do think we're moving in the right direction. Sometimes it does get frustrating that things are going a bit slow. Of course, we're going up against Goliath aka MasterCard and Visa. But I do think once we get those merchants on board, and I do think at the moment, the majority of businesses do typically tend to be a lot of e-commerce, and brick and mortars are the boutique. We really need to start getting into the small to medium kind of retail stores where they've got multiple number of terminals and 5 to 20 employees, and start seeing that scale up. I feel we may have to go after certain franchises first. That's how I feel things are going to have to go. Or my preferred route would be to go to the head of the snake, find good POS solutions that already have that customer base in established brick and mortar stores, whether it's a coffee shop, restaurant, pub, bar, or whatever. They're already there, and adding that extra module on that for me would be the ultimate solution. But
which to me is what Alt36 is planning on doing.
Yes.
Having, at least that's what they told me, option to integrate the major point of sale players. Nice.
Yes. So with Alt36, providing things haven't changed, they were providing monthly updates in the Dash forums, and they may have more now, but they basically identified 2 of the main POS solutions that are used in cannabis dispensaries, contacted them, and I believe they're integrating their module system into those POS solutions. So yes, so they use the same strategy as well. And I think that's a really, really smart move. Now, like I said, there's not just one, as Joel says, one size fits all. I believe in the free market. So if we have multiple POS solutions, competition inspires innovation, and it's only going to make things better, just for us as consumers, but also the merchants as well. We all want the best solution that we can get. So I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket with one. I'm going to keep my eyes open and be open to everything, because I ultimately want the best solution. But yeah, so but I think with Alt36, providing everything goes well with the cannabis dispensaries, which there's no reason why it shouldn't. I've heard good things about the transmitter licenses and things that they've been applying for, which is needed on a state-by-state basis. Once that's locked down and you got good thumbs up, yeah, you're right. They're going to move into the retail sector, and then who knows what's going to happen? Could be Starbucks, could be any kind of franchise to integrate. But once they've proven that model, especially in an industry sector that's been very neglected, if you can pull that off and execute it to a great level, then that's going to turn a lot of heads. And I don't see any other cryptocurrency that has the funding or the expertise in the payment industry to pull that off apart from Dash. So yes, I'm incredibly excited about Alt36 because this hasn't been done before yet on a cryptocurrency scale. So yeah, times are changing. And
yeah, they just had a press release. They brought in a new guy who supposedly really knows his shit. So did y'all see that press release?
Yes, yeah, very, very interesting. I'd actually like to do an article on that for the website. I'm just gonna have a quick look now because yeah, he's got a lot of history working for building payment solutions for it's a very prominent company. I'm just gonna have to double check.
Yeah, a couple of companies.
I'm on Alt36. Here we go. So doing this on the live. Oh, they retweeted my thing. Right, I'm just looking at the PR news one now. So, okay. Oh, this was the interesting thing. So he has a background in specializing in the payment systems and modernizing the digital payment solutions for McDonald's. And yeah, so he's like the chief architect. So this guy has got big industry experience. Time and time again, we're bringing, as Fernando would say, the Dash Milkshake brings all the best devs to the yard. Just like the core team, bringing all the industry heavy hitters over from the legacy banking payment system over to us. Not just people with a few years experience. We're talking people with like over a decade experience. And yeah, like this is why, once again, I'm in Dash, 100% in Dash. And yeah, I have no quarrels about it at all. I feel like 2018 is going to be the year for Dash. I'm certain of it.
Of course, and 2019 is the year it gets accepted to McDonald's, hopefully. I try to stay away from fast food, except I would go there if they had a McDuff on the menu.
Nicely done. Yeah, we could get a Happy Meal with a mini duff.
Yeah, the McDuff would be like a
The McDuff.
Like a hamburger with wasabi and ginger.
Yeah. Excellent. We should get someone to do some Photoshop mock-ups because that'd be brilliant. That'd be a great little campaign.
Yeah, who's our Photoshop guy again?
Oh,
Is this the memester, the master memester, who put Evan Duffield's face on Kim Kardashian's body before?
Oh, guys, did you see the news today? You just reminded me.
I didn't. I saw it, but talk about it. I didn't read it.
So I woke up this morning. Oh, great. Oh, it's 420 day. So I turn on the Wi-Fi on my phone, get a shed load of messages from Discord, whatever. I go on Twitter straight away because I've always got notifications. And then I see the top stories. The top story, Joel. One of the biggest problems Dash has ever had is that the Kardashians have had a store called Dash. And apparently, I didn't realize this, but the stores have been open for over 10 years. Anyway, they're shutting the business down. So all that time people were saying, oh, Dash, Kardashians, no more.
They saw the Ogilvy and Mather logo and saw that the font for Dash was exactly the same as theirs. And they're just like, sorry, boys, can't compete with the future anymore. We got to shut the whole thing down. So thank you, Ogilvy and Mather, for shutting down the Kardashians thing. Now Dash rules number one.
Something where I saw just the headline. They said that we can afford that. We were going to buy something. What was that about? What was the gist of it?
I remember before there was not controversy, but there was concern in terms of like SEO and searching for Dash. And also like, if you know, hashtag Dash, sometimes the Kardashian store would come up as well. People would be looking for that and then find out Dash. So in some ways it's been quite beneficial for us in terms of like branding. There are other things out there called Dash as well. But I believe once Evolution is out and we already do have an advertising campaign going on, I actually saw a few ads on YouTube yesterday after we found that campaign landing page for the Dash.org website. So there are things going on and people will start referring to Dash as digital cash and it will sink through.
Yeah, there's
mainstream.
There's a pre-proposal to buy the storefront in Miami and LA. That's what it was.
How much is it for, though?
They
it's
haven't.
Ridiculous. That was. I didn't read the whole story because anything with Kardashians just gives me like an allergic reaction. But I saw in the headlines one of the reasons they were shutting down their stores was because mainly because a couple of their flagship stores, I guess, in kind of LA and New York, the expense of running the store and the location was just through the roof, and it just wasn't viable anymore. So I'm guessing.
We know, I was just checking the Dash forum. This Argon 31 kid, he keeps tagging me, and he looks like he's tagged Joel as well. He's just trolling here. Does anybody know who he is? I guess he's not a master dono. He's some new troll that's on the Dash forum. Argon 31.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a new troll. I just bargain shit is trolling.
Can I stop him? Is there a way to stop him from tagging me all the time? I mean, I
think there's an ignore setting in the comment.
I need to ignore this fool.
Yeah. But I feel like he just
trolls all the proposals. I don't know. His picture is very annoying as well.
Right. It's me, boss lady, says at least 5 entertainers at 11, the strip club in Miami, taking Dash now. LOL. Oh, thank you for the reminder. And yeah, you should know you was there. Ken Bosak told me all about you. Apparently you was loving it, he told me. So
yeah, well, to be fair,
missed out on that one.
She does tend to like a lot of things. Be very enthusiastic kind of person, which is exactly what the crypto space needs. Same with Ken Bosak. Although, hey, Ken, can you do me a personal favor? Can you stop liking too many tweets from like, sketchy accounts? I don't need to see naked pictures show up on my Twitter timeline because you liked something.
I try to keep my coin thing. Yeah, it'll spank.
No, not even that. Sometimes I look into it and it's not always fake. Sometimes just some random like naked person. I'm like, because Twitter doesn't censor like Instagram does, and I'm just like scrolling down. I'm like, Jimmy Song saying some crap about Bitcoin. Oh, there's something about the Edge wallet. Oh, some random political thing, and oh, there's booty. I don't need booty this early in the morning.
Wow, it sounds like I need to check out Ken Bosak's Twitter account more often.
Also, Stephen Baldwin, our Baldwin brother friend. He tends to like a lot of pictures of young ladies with not a lot of clothes on and a lot of firearms. So Brian, Stephen Baldwin, just so you go to his Twitter and you just go under his liked tweets or favorited tweets or whatever they call it, and yeah, it's a gold mine of right up your alley, I guess.
I prefer the Dan Bilzerian or whatever. That dude's crazy. We need to get him on Dash. Yeah,
well, he has a Poloniex account. That much I know.
He said he listed some of the. He said he had a tweet that says, just in case you're wondering, here are the cryptocurrencies that he owned, and he gave some, and I kind of copied him, and I said, yeah, just in case you're wondering, here's I own Dash. And,
yeah, 23 million Instagram followers. Yeah, that wouldn't hurt if you got him doing something with Dash. But
yeah, we need to drop something for him.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the Tim Draper prediction in cryptocurrency? The 250K Bitcoin price prediction by 2022. Has he been sipping the Joel Kool-Aid, or do you think that's realistic? Or I'm trying to remember I know we talk about your bets every week now, but that's pretty high estimation.
Yeah. So last year I had a bet with Mark that no, I'm not going to repeat it for another time.
The 250K by 2022. Brian, do you think that's realistic?
What? How what?
So the price of Bitcoin will be $250,000 for one Bitcoin by 2022.
Sure. Yeah.
And this is the guy that apparently bought the Bitcoin from the government that they kind of the FBI
like $600
Silk Road thing. Yeah. But then again, hasn't Mr. McAfee? He's come out of a prediction. I think he said 1 million or something, didn't he? Or he would eat his own private parts expletive. So I think he's got a lot more riding than Tim Draper has.
Oh yeah, but he's a little. We have to realize that with John McAfee, it's like a hedge because he might not make it to fulfill his bet, right? Which, I mean, he looks amazing for his age. He's in the 70s already and looks like he's in his early 40s, if you ask me. And he looks amazing for his age and for what he's been through in his life.
Right.
But there's always the double-edged sword of that, of what he's been through in his life. It takes a toll on you, right? For example, people who've been fighters their whole life, they're in their 40s and 50s. It not just as fighters, but people who've been in like 5-round wars, just smacking each other. Like, it catches up with you, and so like all the hard living, you could just like be looking great one day, and then just go the way of the big connect the next day.
Yeah, they're super fit and healthy too. Most of them. I mean, unless you're like big country, but yeah, they're they take their diet seriously and all that stuff. But yeah, that takes they go to war and takes it out of them.
Yeah, I just want to highlight.
Yeah, crypto also takes a lot out of you. If you watch the charts too much.
Yeah, if you guys haven't read it yet, listeners and viewers, there was an article that Joel published this week on dashforcenews.com. PayPal cracks down on unverified users, updates fees, highlighting cryptocurrency's advantages. And it's just, I think it's just a sign of the times, because we've seen PayPal being dropped as the primary payment processor by eBay. That was big news just a few months back, right? So they're already on the back foot. So then they changed their payment fee model and they make it more restrictive to people. And it's only just going to push people in the other direction, right? So I feel this is really big news, because there's a lot of online businesses that still rely on PayPal, and the fees that they charge, especially for taking out and fiat conversion, is astronomical.
Yeah.
So I mean, the image says it all. So it's like for those who have not seen it, the image is a tombstone, RIP PayPal, made obsolete by cryptocurrency. And I do feel it's like a sign of the times. The generation growing up now don't have saving accounts, right? So in terms of investment and speculation, cryptocurrency is the next best thing for them. That's why I believe the next recession or any hiccup or black swan event that's going to happen, financially wise, I don't think they're going to be like baby boomers running for the precious metals. I think they're going to be opting for the cryptocurrency. Can't put a time or date whenever these things go on. I see a lot of crypto YouTubers getting like psychics in, asking for like coin price predictions and all this kind of stuff. But I do think it is inevitable. I think it is going to happen at some point. Adoption's on the increase. Places to purchase crypto keeps increasing on a monthly basis. It's only going one way. And that's
speaking of precious metals, I got this might have to be a bigger article, but I got the word that Amagi Metals is taking Dash now. They were in the process of that. I kind of thought they were before because they were taking Bitcoin. It was a little ambiguous.
They did for a while.
Then I thought they're going to try to take Dash, but anyway, it's like official soon. So buy your precious metals with precious digital cash, and vice versa, I guess, right?
Yeah, they took them for a while, and then they changed ownership, and I guess it went away. Or I guess all these places that take it can use Shapeshift, but yeah, it'd be nice to have them. That's excellent. When you don't know when it's happening, Joel?
I think it's like already or within the coming week or something. It's like now. It's like worthy of announcement now. And shout out to Anthem Blanchard, who I met at the Texas Bitcoin conference, who is involved with that. So yeah, hopefully saw my Dash talk there and was just like, oh, maybe I should take this. Although I wouldn't pat myself on the back that much.
No, we had Albert reaching out to these guys. I had him reach out to all the gold and silver, the big ones, and try to get them. And Amagi was a perfect one. They're based out there in Denver, Colorado, and I sold a bunch of Bitcoins at about $100 for gold and silver, and that didn't work out too well. That was back in 2013. So,
well, there's a new way to earn cryptocurrency, and it's a new acquisition this week by Coinbase. They purchased for what we believe to be $120 million earn.com. Now, I've never used this. I believe previously, before it was known as 21. So I'm guessing it's kind of like surveys and stuff that you can fill out and in return receive now cryptocurrency in return. So this could be quite a good avenue from Coinbase. And it's only going to bring more people into the cryptocurrency space. Or do you guys have other feelings about this? Do you think it's good, bad, or just?
I don't know enough about it. I did see that our friends at Neptune Dash, the Canadian exchange, they're starting to do like shares or something. Or
yes, that's excellent. Thank you for bringing that up. So yes, we've spoken out about Neptune Dash a lot. They're available on the TSX Venture Exchange, but yes, as of now, they're now available in the US and Europe as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so now if everyone can invest, whereas before, it was they're on the Canadian things, but now they're available elsewhere. There's an article on dashforcenews.com that gives you more information about that. So definitely check that out. And it's just another avenue for people to invest in cryptocurrency, right? So even for institutional investors, what other crypto coin actually has that functionality? We remember the drama with Bitcoin and the ETF. Now, technically, right, this is so much better than an ETF because they're creating masternodes and getting the rewards and building out. So they're actually helping support the network as well. So this is I really think this is a great model, and I look forward to hearing more information in the future from Neptune Dash. It's
going to bring a lot of people in because like one of my dad's doctors, I was trying to get him to buy Dash at like $80, and he didn't do it, and he said he's waiting for something like the Neptune Dash. So yeah, that's great. I'll have to tell him about that. Now there is a pretty good premium on that, but it just makes it so much. You don't got to mess with your private keys or any of that kind of stuff. And I prefer to hold the keys, but if you don't and you want this other thing to make it easy for you, it's
exactly.
a great alternative.
It's trustless. Yeah, and that was the issue David Dinkins, who wrote the article, actually brought up. So although he used the term US and EU, Neptune Dash extends fractional masternode ownership. Now, the fractional thing triggers me because I think of fractional reserve banking, but I can understand why. I can understand why he's mentioned that, because when you think about it in a trust and trustless way, so he's referring to some providers that offer Dash shares, you would have to send off your Dash to them. But this actually gives you a vehicle to buy, to invest, but you actually hold, it's trustless, it's not trusted. So you can sell, buy and sell shares on Neptune Dash as you please. So it's just a different way. It's swings and roundabouts. Everyone has different preferences. Some people probably do both. But the more options available, the better, right? So it's a win-win for everyone. And it looks like Neptune Dash are doing great. They're getting great coverage. I've seen them on many publications. So it's another great thing for Dash. Are they doing it for any other cryptocurrency? No, they're not. They picked Dash. And I think that makes a lot of people scratch their heads, kind of like, you could have picked any cryptocurrency. Well, no, not really. When you look at their model, only Dash has that infrastructure and model to be able to do that.
I think with some other crypto assets that are not specifically Dash, but Dash masternodes are their backbone. Possibly because it's just an easy thing. You can just throw in a bunch of money and run some nodes for minimal cost right now, and then you get recurring rewards that even if the price doesn't do as well in the short term, or if it does well in the long term, you have that constant source of, I guess, dividends for your investors. It's pretty good.
That's why Dash, I feel, doesn't always get the credit it deserves, because it was truly the first hybrid. So it's proof of work and proof of stake, because you're staking with a masternode, but we've also got the proof of work as well. So we truly are a hybrid. So it's not just the first functioning DAO cryptocurrency. We've done so much.
The Prius of cryptocurrency.
We're the juggernaut of the cryptocurrency world. We just need to convey that and get more people on board. If people actually looked at the details, merchant, utility, they would understand it. But I feel like a lot of people are still hodling, speculating, and not actually looking at the use of it, right? And to have a fully functioning ecosystem, you've got to have people spending it, not just sitting on it.
No, at some point there's going to be another giant pump, I predict, that's going to push us up to third place, possibly second temporarily. And then we're gonna stay
the
up
Oracle
there.
Brian has spoken.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen by the end of this year.
I'm still sticking to my guns. I still think we're going to go to the trillion mark. That seed is planted in everyone's head. It's just the next step to go, right? How fast we get there is the only question. And as we found out, when things go up, they go up pretty fast. So yeah, always take care. Don't take our advice as financial advice. This is just our personal opinions, right? So always be careful. Do your due diligence. Don't overextend yourselves.
Also, if it does come to that, I'm gonna have to do some preparations. I noticed the party store close to me sells air horns. I have to find the one with the perfect sound. So then, whenever Dash crosses the $2,000 mark, especially if it's a $10,000 mark, I'm going to have a couple of those, and that's going to be half the podcast that week. Just air horn sound.
What we need to do is, I've seen there's these price bots on Twitter that just give like a timely automated update on what the price is. We need to have one that whenever it reaches a $1,000 amount or $100 amount and goes up, it has an automated meme with the air horns on. That's what we need to get Moo on that, because I feel like that should be a priority. But as always, though, Joel mentioned memes this time around, but also last time. So I think I mentioned before, we have a Reddit memes section. So go check it out. If you go to Dash Pay subreddit, on the right-hand side, there's a link to the Dash memes subreddit. Meme away, my friends. Memes, GIFs, have fun. Like, this is what it's about. You're checking out Dash every day. You're reading the news. Have some fun, man.
Yeah, one thing about this,
so
I'm looking at emojis real quick here. If you pay in crypto, you get quite a pretty good discount. Looks like about over $40. Like, I'm looking at this is on a 1 ounce Australian kangaroo coin. You pay a PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, it's over $1,500. You pay with crypto, Bankwire, or check.
I'm gonna have to get me some of that stuff.
What website is this, Brian?
Emoji Metals, or
how do you spell that? I've not been to that website before.
So a fun fact about the word amagi is it's Sumerian cuneiform, the earliest recorded written instance of the word liberty. So I know a lot of people that have like that as a tattoo right here, like the Sumerian cuneiform. Just as like, anyway, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you believe in freedom, you believe in liberty, financial independence, Dash is your ideal solution. We're changing the world.
Yeah. Do you remember Tommy Vu, the financially independent guy? Do you remember that, Brian? Those ads back in. It was that Vietnamese dude who was talking about come to his real estate seminar, and I will teach you how to be financially independent.
I don't know.
He turned out to be a big scammer and went to prison and stuff.
Yeah.
Look up Tommy Vu, VU, like he's a Vietnamese guy.
God.
Financially independent.
He was like the first big guy.
Yes, it was like, what's up, Be connect. Anyway, I think I'd like to take this time to start pointing out all like the far reaches of Dash Force. So obviously we have Dash Force News. We have a Twitter account at Dash Force News. Bizarrely enough, we are active on Google Plus, one of the last few holdouts there. We have a Facebook page. We're on Steemit, and we're on DTube. The Dash Force News podcast is on the Three Amigos is on DTube, as well as all the other YouTube stuff we put out. This podcast is on iTunes, Stitcher, a bunch of other stuff. It's syndicated on the Pax Libertas podcast network, as well as the LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network. So that's just our stuff. We're all over the place with that. We also run discoverdash.com, and I know we talk about it sometimes casually, but go to discoverdash.com. It's the #1 spot to send newbies to learn about Dash, as well as where can you spend it. And in my view, discoverdash.com will be very soon able to compete with Yelp as far as how useful it is. I mean, I know whenever I'm going out on the town, I'm looking for places to spend my Dash. I actually use Discover Dash in my own life to be like, well, which place is open? What about this price range? What about for coffee? What are my options when I'm doing this? And so especially when you funnel more Dash merchants into the whole ecosystem, that'll be an invaluable thing to do. Also, if you just look up Venezuela, you just see so many places come up, and you realize the Dash shitting is real.
Excellent.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed
is the Telegram channel as well. So if you would like Dash Force News updates to your phone about articles, if you go to the dashnews.com website, you will find a Telegram link, and you can click on that channel. And then every time an article is published, you'll be notified on your phone, so you won't miss any news. Okay, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, I never use Telegram. I guess it's more of an international crowd. I can't get into it, but I know a lot of international people do. Now, what I was going to say is that I was noticing on the back end of the Discover Dash, man, we get so many referrals from the Free Thought Project. So shout out to them. I guess that's part of our deal, sir.
Matt Savoy, thanks to you. You've been pimping out our stuff. You asked me,
hey,
what's going on? Where should we send stuff? Yeah. Doing great.
So I was talking to Matt today,
actually.
I was talking to Matt today, and we're going to split up some of those ads towards traffic towards Dash Force News as well. And one of the things I've been doing today is with the What is Dash page on the Discover Dash, I've kind of taken that off and I'm importing that into dashforcenews.com, so we can kind of have the landing page there as well, so we can split the traffic. But yeah, it's been great. Like Discover Dash, since the refresh, has been doing very, very good in the refresh. We're literally just at the 900 mark. And if things go well next month, we should have another 1,500 merchants to add in Ukraine. But more news to come on that.
Well, kind of working on that as we speak. It might even be by the end of the month. So that's Dash Force News and all its tendrils. And Discover Dash. Remember, Dash Force News is translated. The site itself has, I believe, 5 languages on it,
including English.
English, French, German, Russian, and Portuguese. And then there's 2 separate sites, which I'm not sure if they're linked on Dash Force News yet. But Dash Espanol.
Yep.
And yes, and so and by the way, for both of those, if you are a Spanish or Korean speaker or know Spanish or Korean speaking communities, go promote those, especially because just those two projects have original content in those languages, as well as weekly news recap videos. And yeah, I know they're getting special treatment. We'll hopefully one day extend it to all the languages. But so Dash Force News is doing all that kind of cool stuff. Look forward to obviously. So if you want to meet the most of the Amigos you can in one spot, come to the Porcupine Freedom Festival, Park Fest, June 19th to 24th in Lancaster, New Hampshire. If you want to see all the other events we're sponsoring, Libertopia, which is May 3rd through 6th, I believe. Voice and Exit, which is later in the month in May in Austin, Texas. Obviously, Park Fest. And then the Free Coast Festival, which is going to be in Portsmouth, New Hampshire in September. So you can get to go and just spend Dash on just about everything there and experience what a real Dash economy is like. So we stay very, very active. I know that there's so much going on in the Dash community right now, and we personally are very active to where sometimes we forget to pay attention to everything else going on around us because we're so busy. But there's a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of movers, a lot of great stuff going on. It's really it's starting to take off in really weird ways I didn't anticipate, and I'm very happy to be part of this whole thing.
Interesting. We just got a shout out apparently on Ken Bosek's channel. That's the other thing we should mention. For those watching, obviously this will be obvious to you, but we have a YouTube channel as well. So if you are watching, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I see a lot of YouTubers saying, hit that notification bell so you're always notified of upcoming videos. Gents, I think it's probably about that time. Would you agree?
Yep, let's wrap it up.
Excellent. Well, thank you for watching episode 48 of the Dash Force Free Amigos podcast. We will now be retreating to Discord chat.org if you'd like to join us for the after party, where we have 10 spaces available due to the limitations of what it can facilitate, where we'll talk for the next few hours about all kinds of things, and you can ask us any questions. So I hope you will join us there. And if you're new to Discord chat.org, you'll be going into the main general Dash Talk channel and just say, hey, I want to join the after party, and I'll keep an eye out for you. And if there's space, I will add you to the after party. Okay, so thank you for watching. Have a fantastic weekend, and make sure you stay dashy.
Stay dashy.
Stay dashy.
Woo! Happy 1 year, guys.
Woo!